right then signing up for a Stanford University psychology study and ending up in a fake jail. In 1971, Professor Philip Zimbardo recruited 24 male students for a basement prison simulation. These guys had answered an ad, 75 or so applied, and passed rigorous screening, then were randomly split into equal groups, prisoners, or guards. Each volunteer got $15 a day, basically a rager's dream budget, to play the role. The prisoners were cuffed by real cops in their homes, fingerprinted and blindfolded, en route to their new cells. Once inside, they lost all personal identity, stripped of belongings, deloused, given dingy smocks, imagine a prison dress, and even a hefty chain padlocked to one ankle. The guards, on the other hand, strutted around in fresh khaki uniforms and mirrored sunglasses, zero eye contact allowed, with whistles and batons at the ready. Their only instruction? Keep order by any means, short of actual beating. Everyone figured it was just role play. Hey, how intense could a college basement get? Within hours, the power trip began. Day one was relatively chill, but on day two, the so-called prisoners tried a mini revolt, screaming, trashing the common area. That was all the excuse the guards needed. They immediately tightened the screws. Whistles pierced the night at 2:30 a.m., forcing inmates to start push-ups. Blankets were stolen, toilets cleaned with bare hands, and prisoners were cursed, dehumanized, even nudged around like cattle. One guard later admitted he practically considered the prisoners cattle, always watching in case they tried something. The guards made up bizarre rules, chant confessions, perform degrading tasks, and parade enforced inspections. The prisoners, now called by numbers instead of names, obediently complied. Many shook and cried. By day three, 5 of them had mental breakdowns and had to be sent home early. And by day 4, 3 more were so traumatized, they were released. Yes, this was college students for $15 a day, turning into mini Hitlers and frightened kids in real time. By day 5, the simulated prison had become too real. Even lead researcher Zimbardo, playing warden, was getting too into character. Enter Christina Maslosh, a grad student who arrived to interview the participants. She immediately gasped, "It's terrible what you were doing to these boys!" Her shocked protest finally broke the spell. Zimbardo himself realized he'd morph into a prison superintendent in his own experiment. The originally planned 2-week study was cut off abruptly after just 6 days. In one guard's words, "I made them call each other names and clean the toilets with their bare hands. I practically considered the prisoners cattle." Another said, "Acting authoritatively can be fun. Power can be a great pleasure." By day 6, the place was chaos. Tearful prisoners, panicked guards, and Zimbardo finally called it quits. The experiment literally became part drama, part psychological horror show, and then it was over. The Stanford Prison Experiment quickly became legendary and infamous beyond the lab. In fact, it went on to become one of the best-known studies in psychology's history. It's taught in textbooks, shared on YouTube, and even dramatized in movies. A 2015 film, The Stanford Prison Experiment, retells the story. Popular media loves it. The BBC did a documentary mock-up. International filmmakers were inspired by it. The German film Das Experiment, later remade in the US as The Experiment. Why the hype? The dirty secret revealed is chilling. Ordinary people can flip from nice student to cruel jailer in a heartbeat. Given the right costume and a badge, the situational power structure basically rewrote personalities overnight. In the end, even the guards admitted they were shocked by how evil they'd been, and the prisoners by how docile they became. This 6-day spectacle exploded in fame as a cautionary tale about authority, groupthink, and just following orders, a story that keeps going viral in psychology classes and on social media. It's the ultimate lesson that a pair of mirrored sunglasses and a uniform can unleash your inner tyrant, something Zimbardo summed up by saying the study shows people readily conform to the roles they're expected to play.